Hello, my name is Christina Mendez. This is my presentation for week 4 discussion board on mid-century management theories. Today I will speak about Dwight Waldo, Douglas McGregor, and Charles Lindblom. Firstly, Dwight Waldo references an orthodox ideology and that public administration still focuses on an old ideology as referenced by the dichotomy or scientific management. And while scientific management is still used a lot today, he speaks about this big shift in ideology that goes away from that. He references authors like Elton Mayo and Mary Parker Follett that play a big part in the influence of public administration. Part of the article that I found interesting was on page 140, paragraph 5. He stresses the idea that public administration will likely change to include other disciplines or influences as the world and society continues to change and grow. An example of this can be seen in movements happening today that affect law enforcement. These movements and social factors are influencing and impacting public administration today. Secondly, Douglas McGregor acknowledges that managers' views on the worker can be viewed in two different ways. Managers believe that workers need to be supervised and controlled for each step of the way, and the second would be managers see workers as able to step up and take responsibility. What's interesting is McGregor sees that there is a lack of motivation, a need to be supervised, and a need to be supervised might be because certain needs aren't met. Um, he references this sort of hierarchy that needs to be followed sequentially, similar to that of Abraham's Maslow's hierarchy. I find it interesting how he uses the carrot and stick approach to demonstrate how management has the potential to provide the needs and deprive you of those needs, perhaps without even knowing it. Um, and while management can satisfy your lower needs, in reality, the worker may need higher needs, such as a boost in confidence or recognition. McGregor notices that theory X is used a lot more often, which is the first example that I gave you, rather than the second example, theory Y, which he believes should be used more often. Um, and that managers should allow employees to take initiative and satisfy and also help to satisfy their needs. This can be seen in DPSS offices where workers carry caseloads, encouraged to voice their opinions, work on their own daily tasks as they see fit, and are rewarded and recognized for their work. And then we have Charles Lindblom, who believed that there were two approaches to formulating policy and procedure. The first approach, which he referenced as the root, and the second approach as the branch. The first approach sees the desired goal and then finds all the necessary means to reach that goal. Lindblom calls this rational comprehensive method because it would take into account all of the factors that would be needed. And then the second approach, Lindblom calls successive limited comparisons because it takes into account past experiences and works in steps. Essentially, each step can provide knowledge or insight to the next step and helps to avoid making any serious mistakes. Sadly, much literature is written on the first approach, and so with more complex problems, managers are often at a disadvantage. This can be seen in foster care facilities today where there are procedures and policies within the organization that are constantly revised and changed to appease and make sure that it's changing with the changes of the organization. And thank you so much for taking the time to hear my thoughts on the mid-century management theory.